Welcome back, all. I'm Amy, a Midwestern Kansan girl, and this is my boat, Maritopia. After moving to Florida in 2020, buying a $5,000 Facebook Marketplace worn-out 1973 Pearson sailboat, and spending 2 years endlessly working on her, I have quit my job and have started my Solosailing adventures with the goal to truly immerse myself into as many different cultures as possible. I hope you're able to enjoy the videos as much as I do living the experiences. Well, today we are moving on. Our friend Meg left. She went back to Tampa last night. The winds are good. So we are leaving Nassau. Nassau is in the back. There's Atlantis. Yeah, I took $300 from you. Headed up by Spanish Wells. It's one of the family islands about 40 miles away. We got great winds, 20 knots right on the beam, where it should be for all of this little passage. We got the head sail mainsail reefed, full head sail, cruising along pretty good. We are making we're averaging about 6. Autopilot's on. The winds are right around 20. Going about 6.3 right now. So, making good time. The winds have died down a little bit. And they're starting to shift aft just a little bit as predicted. So we're doing a little bit less. This is hands down my favorite sail I've ever had, my favorite passage. And it's only, I don't know, 45, 50 miles by the time I get there. But it is beautiful out here. Best sail ever. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. Got my fancy little holder right here for so I can put my phone in it. I am within distance of land, so I can Starlink internet is working. So once the Chief game starts, I will put my phone in there and it'll be right beside me the whole way. Living the dream! I'm ready to go through a cut in the reef somewhere right in there. And then I'll go up behind this island. We've got some northwest winds coming, so it'll be nice to be behind this island for some protection. But yeah, cruising right along. Up here on the bow, trying not to fall over. My beautiful mantis anchor and some freaking gorgeous water. Oh my God. I don't know if it'll come through in the video, but these are really confused seas right here. That's because we're going through a cut. We went from, and I say we because Captain Tom is back there. Went through a cut from 4,000, 6,000 feet of water, and now we are in 22. And there's coral reef everywhere underneath it here. So it's really, whenever it's shallow and there's reef, it really messes the seas up like this. We're going somewhere over there behind that landmass. Somewhere over there. In Maritopia, and some freaking gorgeous water in Little Bay, Eluthera. I've been here for a month and I still cannot get over the water. Well, we went to shore over by where the boats were, and a guy approached us, said we were trespassing. He ended up being super cool. His name is Shabaka. Not Chewbacca, Shabaka. And he gave us instructions on how to get to the settlement here. Said to take the path. And he said it was a rocky path. And it is definitely a rocky path. Well, Now the trail is taking us through basically a jungle. At some point, the Spanish brought pigs over here. And the pigs are still inhabiting the island. And you don't want to fall into these little crevasses and get hurt. Came across a graveyard and an old four-wheeler. And Shabaka said that we would come across the graveyard, but everything around here seems to be limestone, so I'm not sure how they get people in the ground here. We just topped the hill. Now we can see the north side of the island. And with those waves and this 20 knot plus wind, that's exactly why we're on the south side of the island. This is the north side of the island. Again, this is why we're on the south side. Because the land mass is protecting us from the north wind. And that would be uncomfortable as hell. So this is the settlement. All their water. They have a little playground. Even though there's 19 people and only 2 of them are young, one's 19, one is 20 or 21, I think he said. Everyone else is in their 60s and older. More people die of falling coconuts every year than by lightning. House. I'm sure it's abandoned. I used to have oil burning lamps over there. I can't imagine this. That's wild. But I also imagine that they run out of electricity quite often. I have no idea what that is. Can anyone tell me? Leave it down in the comments, because I have no clue. To me, it looks like a big mud dauber nest. It's just so peaceful out here. Not another human in sight right now. Tom is quite a ways behind me, so I'm alone for the moment. And I'm gonna say this island is, I don't know, half a mile wide. So a half a mile away, the seas are just rough as shit. And here they're calm as can be, which is why we're here. Well, at it again, at the crack of dawn, and it's a beautiful one. So this morning I am on the way to Spanish Wells proper in a anchorage called Cistern Bay. It's a good bay for protection from those winds. But speaking of wind, the wind is barely working this morning. In fact, I just now put the head sail out. I'm motor sailing. Living the dream. Fishing pole out. Haven't caught anything except seaweed, though I have had a couple of bites. It's really difficult to tell, but I was pretty nervous going into this inlet. The swell was decent size and going against the tide. On top of that, it's a very narrow inlet with shallow reefs on both sides. So there's the inlet that I came through to get into this bay. And you can see it's super shallow and there's reefs right there, so the waves just crash. Plus, you can have the swell to contend with, so the swell was pushing me in. Rented a golf cart for the day and drove over here to Tingham Village. The Bahamian flag, or the colors anyway. It's pretty tropical. Pretty cool little restaurant. After a delicious lunch, it was time to start exploring Dunmore Town. First on the agenda was a short ride to see the pink sand beaches. So Tom and I are doing some exploring of the island, and this is Pink Sand Beach. I don't know if it'll come through in the video, but the sand is definitely a pinker color. It's pretty cool. See? Pink. Over here is the open Atlantic. Then we went straight down, and the cut is right there. And that's where we went into the bay at. Going up this little path to get back to the golf cart. It's the mangroves, palm trees, some sort of evergreen maybe. Pretty beachy, pretty jungly. I love it. With no map and no real plans, we now set off to randomly explore the island. The ever-vibrant colors of Bahamian houses still fascinates me. What did the lady say about, what did you ask her?
Well, I asked her if you could take drinks while you're driving around, you know, and she goes, yeah, it's the Bahamas. I said, what are the drink driving laws down here? She goes, it's the Bahamas.
As far as the Eluthera goes, we have underrated traffic here. We just stopped to have a couple of drinks, Tom and me. So Kalik is light beer that's made in Bahamas. So this is a no weed zone, but the bartender's wearing the... But if you look at the sign, the sign says no weed zone. Yeah, so Captain Tom and I are gonna go over to this little beach and have a few drinks before the sun goes down. See if I can find some coconuts. I brought the machete so I can cut some coconuts open. Maybe I can have some rum and coconut water.
Whoa, there's some.
Ow! That's a big.
You get the other one. We do.
Coconut water. I'm gonna see if I can cut those open and put them in a, save all the water in a jug that I brought with me, and I will have a good bunch of coconut water. So I cut those 7 coconuts open, and I got about, a little more than half of a gallon. Somebody built a little tiki hut. Got a couple of tables made out of tires. There's an old washing machine barrel over there. Cut some coconuts up. But then they built a dock. And I think they must have been a little bit drunk when they built it. Because... But here's another perspective of where Captain Tom and I's boats are anchored. There's good old beautiful Maritopia. There's Walk on the Ocean. And there's the Dunmore Town, which is where we were today on the golf carts exploring. Cool little city. I had fun. So we will put that coconut water right in the fridge. I'll probably filter it with, I don't know, a coffee filter maybe? Just to get all the gunk out of it. But that's good water. Healthy water. I'll take that any day of the week. With an incoming heavy windstorm, I needed to get Maritopia moved to a more protected area of the boat. But first, I needed some all-important time in the water. So the winds are still going to be pretty vicious for a few days, but the direction of them has changed. So headed up to just motoring up a few miles to a different area that's more protected from the now predicted winds. But look at this water. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I'd say I was walking in a field of grass. And that's 15 feet. 12 to 15, because we're at high tide. Insane! So I'm just dragging the dinghy. It's only a few miles that we're going. What? There's no one steering the boat? What's going on? Ah! If you'd like to stay up to date and follow along with the adventures, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for joining. I'll see you next week when the biggest windstorm of my short time in the Bahamas arrives.